Hello and good afternoon. Today I will be discussing the red fox, scientifically known as Vulpes vulpes. My name is Dylan Garibaldi and I will be your presenter today. Righty. The red fox, or Vulpes vulpes, is a fascinating mammal. Let's break down its classification. It belongs in the kingdom Animalia, phylum Chordata, class Mammalia, order Carnivora, and family Canidae. This medium-sized mammal typically measures about 20 to 26 inches in body length, with the tail adding another 14 to 18 inches. And they usually weigh between 8 and 15 pounds. Red foxes are known for their long legs and bushy tails, while they're commonly like that orange-reddish color we see with the black stockings and ears and white tail belly and tail tip. Their coloration can vary. You might encounter silver-faced foxes, which are blackish with silver frosting, or cross-faced foxes, which are gray or orange-brown with dark cross on their shoulders. The silver fox is on top and the cross is on bottom. One distinguishing feature is their white tipped tail, which no other fox species has. And if you're lucky enough to hear them, red foxes make a high-pitched bark or whines and almost like a yapping sound. Foxes have a vast range. They're found throughout mainland Canada, Alaska, and most of the US except for the southwestern deserts. Globally, they inhabit Europe, continental Asia, India, China, Japan, and North Africa. They were introduced to Australia in the 1850s for recreational hunting, primarily in Melbourne. But by the 1870s, fox populations had become established in the wild, and within 20 years, they were declared an invasive species. I would also like to note that the silver and cross phases are mainly seen in Canada, Alaska, and high mountain ranges like the Rockies, Cascades, and Sierras. And behind the text, you could see the map of the red fox distribution. As for their habits and habitats, they're primarily nocturnal or crepuscular, but many are seen hunting during the day during the winter, though, which is an exception. Red foxes prefer mixed habitats, including brushland fields, forest edges, like farmland edges, marshy areas, and even woodland ravines and urban areas. My family actually owns like 200 acres out in Concan, Texas. We have chickens, cattle, horses, cats, and even llamas. But sometimes we'll hunt the foxes because they'll get into our chicken coops and eat all our hens and roosters. So I mean, there's nothing you can really do about that. Okay. Life history. All right. Starting with the feeding habits, red foxes are omnivorous. Their diet includes small rodents, rabbits, birds, insects, fruits, and berries. In urban areas, they may also scavenge human scraps in trash cans or parks. But their hunting technique involves stalking close to the prey, lunging into the air, and pinning down the prey with their front feet. And in the next slide, I will be showing a video. But regarding breeding and territory, adult foxes form long pair bonds, but they don't typically hunt together, they forage alone, even though they are a bond. Pairs occupy territories year-round, ranging from about 150 to 1,500 acres, and the breeding occurs from January to March, but both parents do tend to the young. Litters typically consist of 4 to 10 pups born in underground dens, and these dens contain multiple entrances in case of need to escape. But young foxes are weaned at 2 months but stay with their parents until the fall. Male offspring tend to disperse widely while females may stay the next few seasons to help with the next litters. But overall, the average lifespan of a red fox is 3 to 7 years. And I think it's also important to note that Vulpes vulpes is a primary carrier of rabies. I've actually seen multiple videos online of foxes with rabies, kind of creepy.
It listens for the tiny sounds of its prey moving about below, but must take great care not to scare them away.
Moving on, according to the IUCN Red List, the red fox is currently listed as least concern with a stable population trend. However, they do face some threats. Threats are highly localized and include habitat degradation, loss, and fragmentation, as well as exploitation. In Magnolia, they're classified as near threatened due to overhunting. But in South Korea, they're considered extinct due to habitat loss and poaching. And in South Korea, while culling can reduce populations in where they're more abundant, um, it doesn't currently threaten the species' overall numbers. But in areas where they've been introduced, as said before, like Australia, red foxes have caused considerable damage, leading to control measures such as poison baits. But conservation efforts that should be focused on, I think, are maybe preserving and restoring these habitats, some regulation hunting practices where the population is lower, and managing the invasive populations in affected areas like Australia. Alrighty, thank you so much for listening to my presentation. Hope you have a great day.